it's just starting for Bitcoin. There's something crazy that just started today, and people have no idea how impactful this will be, how much money it will bring into crypto. It's really nuts. I haven't seen anyone talk about this so far, and I'm glad that I could be, I think, the first one to talk about this. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video. This video is going to be mostly about Bitcoin, but I do want to say there's a link to Margex underneath the video where they are starting to trade Kaspa. It's really hard to buy Kaspa for certain people because it's just not on exchanges that are available. But here, there's no KYC, there's no VPN that's needed, and you can trade Kaspa. So if you're super bullish on Kaspa, you can trade it, and you can make gains even in other cryptocurrencies. So let's say you had XRP, or even if you wanted more Bitcoin, you could trade the Kaspa chart, and you can make money based on Kaspa going up and make it in a different currency even. There's also a link down there to Blowfin. Both of these are non-KYC, non-VPN. They're giving away an iPhone 15 Pro, a Nintendo Switch, and a bunch of cash prizes just if you trade on the platform. There's also a 20% off link, 20% off fees. My link underneath the video. You get 20% off trading fees. So definitely check those out. Now, Bitcoin down a little bit over the last 24 hours. Long term doesn't matter. Let me tell you why. In the next month, we should get an approval, most likely, on the Bitcoin spot ETF. And we just had something really interesting happen. By the way, Bitcoin dominance chart looks interesting. Looks like we might have another leg up for Bitcoin dominance. As you know, most of my portfolio is in Bitcoin at this point. Look at this. We just had this ad. I'm going to play it for you and talk about why this is so important and how crazy this is going to be for Bitcoin.
You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin. Look for Bitwise, my friends.
So obviously a play on the most interesting man in the world. If you haven't seen that, it was really popular a while ago. I love those commercials. But it was for selling alcohol back in the day. Or I believe it was beer, Dos Equis. But the important thing isn't what's in the ad. It's that Bitwise is doing ads. Keep in mind, there are 12 companies that are, and really more than that, but there are 12 companies that are going to market for these ETFs, these Bitcoin spot ETFs. People don't realize how much money these companies use to advertise. Look at this. Fidelity Investments is part of FMR, Fidelity Management and Research LLC. They spent over $100 million on advertising last year. I think this is low. The reason I think this is low is I found this article from 1998, and they said here that Fidelity spent $90 million on advertising in 1998 dollars. So I've looked up a couple other companies on this Media Radar website, and they say about $100 million or over $100 million. Same thing with BlackRock, right? BlackRock spent under $100 million on digital advertising, print and national TV this year. I think they spend more than that, but keep in mind, these aren't the only ways that these companies will advertise. First of all, there's some value to just putting it on their website. Like, they have 35 million Americans that invest through them in some way or another. They also have 190,000 financial advisors. Think about how much money that is that they're managing. So once they push their clients to start buying, there's going to be so much money flooding in. I mean, same thing with this. ARK Invest, they don't have a $100 million marketing budget, but they get free advertising on like CNN or CNBC. They also have their own YouTube channel with 544K subscribers. So how much would this cost if they just tried to go out and get this number of interested people actually looking at their ads? So people don't realize how much this is going to be pushed. Like, this is not going to be some scarce thing that no one really knows anything about anymore. They're going to be shielded every single day by their financial advisors. They're going to see ads on the subway. They're going to see ads online. Before you watch this video, if you have ads and you're not paying for premium, you're going to get ads about the spot ETFs. Like, there's going to be so much money flooding into this. And keep in mind, there's not much left. Like, we try to educate here on YouTube, but a lot of people don't understand it. They have no idea what Bitcoin is, how small it is compared to other assets. They don't understand that 93% of the supply has already hit the market, and there's only 7% of the supply left. A lot of that being lost as well. So there's not much liquidity, right? I mean, it seems like a lot of liquidity compared to some of the other cryptocurrencies, but you come in with a couple $1 billion, there's not much liquidity. I mean, think about this too. 190,000 financial advisors. Let's do some math real quick. 190,000 times, let's say each financial advisor has $10 million in their portfolio, which I think that's low. Honestly, I think most financial advisors have significantly more than that. But let's say it's 10 million. How big is this portfolio or this amount of money that financial advisors have access to? 1.9 e to the 12th. Let's say of each of those financial advisors, let's say half of them actually talk about Bitcoin in one way or another. So times 0.5. And then each one of those that does talk about, they just get 1% of their overall assets in. Look how much money that is. I mean, right there with some low numbers, we have $9.5 billion flowing into Bitcoin. A lot of people don't understand too that $9.5 billion doesn't mean the market cap goes up $9.5 billion. There's usually a multiple. So if you want to buy $9.5 billion, let's say that happens in the first year, there's probably like a 20x multiple on that. That's how much the market cap actually goes up. So that half of all financial advisors at one specific company get clients to invest 1%, that could cause the price to go up 9.5 billion times 20-ish, let's say. Some people say it can even go up more than that. So that's $200 billion in market cap. That alone is 1/4. That pushes Bitcoin up $10,000 today. And if it happened in one day, it would actually be a lot more than that. But you can see the power of advertising, the power of how large some of these institutions are, how much more money will flood into these. And some people will set up accounts for the first time. Some people will come over to Fidelity. It's going to be highly profitable for them to talk about this because of several reasons. I've actually done a video on why BlackRock wants you to buy Bitcoin and buy from their spot ETF. It's highly lucrative for them. When you think about that business model, it's really easy. If they just get someone to buy their spot Bitcoin ETF, let's say they charge 1% fees, basically all they have to do is take all those inflows or outflows and then adjust the amount of crypto that they have. That's it. Unlike financial advising where you have to, let's say you charge 1%, but you have to meet with clients regularly. You have to make sure that they're in what assets fit their needs. Like if you're Fidelity and you get 1% from a spot ETF, all you have to do is go buy the Bitcoin. That's it. And then custody it. It's the easiest job ever. It really is. And keep in mind, as Bitcoin goes up, they're going to make higher and higher amounts because they're going to get people that put in $1 million that pay that 1% fee, and the Bitcoin goes and triples over the next year. They get 3 times that initial amount that they were getting in fees because now the Bitcoin's worth $3 million and now they're getting 1% of that. So they're making $30,000 a year from that, for example. So it's a super easy business model. That's why so many people want in on it, because custody in crypto is so much simpler than having financial advisors that you have to pay salaries to that still have to do all that work. This is really the golden ticket for these companies. So they are going to talk about it as much as they possibly can, as much as they can make sense of it. They're going to put a lot of their marketing budget into talking about the spot ETFs. And honestly, for a lot of consumers or customers, investors, it's going to be nice to be able to have something that you can buy in a retirement account that you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about sending it to the wrong place. You don't have to worry about losing your keys or anything like that. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect at all, but I think people don't understand how crazy this is going to get after they get the green light. And it sounds like about 3 weeks, these ETFs will probably be approved. After they get that green light, money's going to flood to advertising. There's going to be so much money flooding to it that I don't see how the market doesn't pump. Like there will be enough education, enough people publishing information and ads on Bitcoin, these Bitcoin ETFs, it's going to pump up the market. Now, of course, anything can happen in the short term, but that's also a reason you might want to sign up for Margex. Like, think about that. If money starts flooding into the system and you're on some leverage exchange, you can make crazy changing money, crazy life-changing money. Of course, make sure you do your own due diligence. I'm not telling you to go leverage trade. That's up to you. I do some trading myself, but it's a small portion of my portfolio. Again, check out those links underneath the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.